They send 5. They blitz here. Max hangs in and fires it deep downfield. There's a miscommunication, and that ball is going to be intercepted. That ball is intercepted by Cameron Bynum. Mack took a shot at the end zone. Gabe Davis ran it more to the middle of the field. Mack threw it along the far sideline. Bynum tracked it down and intercepted it in the end zone to end the hopes for the Jaguars.
Yeah, we never expected to be here, obviously. Where we had 5 or 6 games now that are, one-score games. This is, it's hard. It's hard. We're as a team, as coaches, we're making it hard. We're making it too hard. And the guys are frustrated, and they should be, and they're angry, and they should be, because we all are. And but we have to channel it in a positive way, and get ready for another one.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is not a Victory Monday. T-shirts are safe for another week, Tony Smith.
Oh, boy.
But we'll spend the next couple hours trying to figure it out. Why the Jags are 2-8.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to figure it out. I doubt I'm smart enough to do that.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say figure out when we're ever going to give away another T-shirt.
That too.
Yeah.
I'd like to figure that out.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Win a game and we'll give away some T-shirts. But I couldn't begin to be smart enough to tell you when that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean, we've now reached the full-blown condescension level of post-game press conferences for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry that a pertinent question was asked of the head coach yesterday when he was asked what was supposed to happen on that play that resulted in the final interception of the game. Here's the full answer, Dylan, if you have it handy. He's bringing that up. But Brett Martineau asked this question after the game yesterday. Of course, Jags still had an opportunity to win the football game. And, 5-play drive that kept them on that drive from being the worst yardage performance in the history of the franchise, by the way. But what was supposed to happen on that play, Doug?
Yeah, I'm not going to go through the details of the play because you guys wouldn't figure it out. But we'll look at the tape tomorrow, and we'll make those corrections.
Yeah, apparently everyone else in the NFL has it figured out, though. Because right now, if the draft were today, you have the first pick.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.
You're the worst team in the National Football League. Congratulations with your mysterious offense that is too difficult to comprehend. I don't know what to tell you.
Just speculate, everybody.
Yeah, I guess exactly.
Right. Everybody just speculate on what you think the problem is with no answer from the person who may have some kind of insight on what happened on the play. That's fine. Everyone just speculate wildly. As wild as you want to be about what happened on that play, the door has been opened. I suggest you sprint through it. Don't even walk through this door. Whatever crazy ideas you have for what might have happened on that play, I'd love to hear it. Because the coach would too, apparently.
DG, good morning, by the way.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm trying to figure out why he think we wouldn't be able to figure out what the play was, even if it was just that pass to Gabe Davis. It was either supposed to be a go route or a post. Somebody was
somebody else maybe the primary receiver or what?
I'm just talking about the ball that was thrown.
Absolutely.
We can go through.
Well, you're a former NFL quarterback. You might have a chance to figure that out.
Slightly, because it's been a long time now.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.
That's a lot of frustration coming through that man right there, and we normally don't ever hear that, see that kind of stuff. So that's unfortunate.
But why are you mad at the messenger
I know.
here?
And not even like
it's not a snarky question.
Yeah,
it's like,
not
hey,
even
idiot,
close
what were
to
you
be
doing
snarky.
calling that play? It's nothing like that.
No.
It's just like, hey, help us
what was
understand.
supposed to happen
what
there?
happened?
So we can explain to your constituents, the fans.
Maybe he didn't understand what was supposed to happen there.
I don't know.
And he has to go back and watch
I don't know.
film.
This is what I'm talking about. I need this kind of speculation.
Yeah. He's got to go back and watch film so he can understand what happened.
Listen, the Vikings snapped the ball with 2:53 left. And at that moment in time, I believe the Jags were one short of the all-time record for fewest. In other words, they had the mark for the fewest yards ever in the history of the franchise, if I'm not mistaken on that. It might have been that they had gotten a 2-yard gain, then threw the interception, and then so they were like a yard above it.
Yep.
And they ended up cosmetically 25-ish yards above the bottom line. Congratulations.
Still ain't good.
Great job.
Yeah.
Right? A bottom 5 performance in yardage in the history of the franchise. On a day when the defense let them go up and down the field, but kept them off the scoreboard.
Yep.
I was frustrated as well yesterday. The defense was so great. Well, 12 points, that is their primary job, right? So they did, and if you want to compare them to the offense, it was night and day.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's been the reverse sometimes this year. Offense scores, defense can't stop anybody, so there's never any consistency.
Once again, a game where both sides of the ball don't show up to perform.
But they got 3 turnovers. Really had 4, but penalty overturned the Darby interception. Could have 4 interceptions on a year when you had 2 coming into the game. And still couldn't do anything to take advantage of it.
I kept thinking the whole game, we're getting all these turnovers, but we're doing nothing with the ball. We're not getting any points on the board. Let's put some points, even if it's just 3. Give us something. Give the defense something. They're working their tails off. Give them something to be excited about. Nothing. Crickets.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious. They had the drive, right? The second drive, they go down and get the touchdown. But after that, it was like, all right, the offense is dead. Like, you could see it. The offense is dead. So good on the defense for coming up with the turnovers when they absolutely had to, right? Like, these are interceptions they're making in the end zone. It's essentially what they were doing yesterday. But it wasn't like I expected them to create a bunch of momentum on offense because the defense kept them from scoring. Good on them. That's the job. Right? And they're certainly at a position where bend but don't break was in full effect for the Jacksonville Jaguars defense yesterday. I never expected, not one of those times when they got the ball back at their own 20, I was like, they're not going 50 yards. They're definitely not going 80 yards. Like, I had no expectation that they were going to be able to do that. It was to a point in the game where when it was still 7-6 and Minnesota got in field goal range, I was like, if they throw another pass, they're idiots, right? That's how the game felt to me. It's like, kick a field goal, go up 9-7, Jags are dead. Like, I can't even see them getting in field goal range. They almost did.
They were so dumb to try a pass with 2:53 left in the game.
I couldn't believe they threw another pass.
It's 3rd and 1.
When they had the ball.
It makes no sense, but whatever. I mean, that's their issue. And we want the Jags to win.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing here. They fumbled. Mac Jones loses the ball with about 7:15 left in the game, right? It's 9-7. You've been struggling all day. The defense has been coming up with stop after stop. You think, is this finally the time the defense has had enough? They're exhausted. They just kind of, oh, man, really? But no. They held them to a field goal. And, they kept you in the football game.
They did it again.
And it's so damn frustrating. Well, then they forced a punt after that on the next drive. So, I mean, look, 6 losses by 5 or less. Is that good or bad? I'm going to say it's bad, because their losses, but, I mean, what do they always say? Good teams find a way to win the close games, or that more than their share, right, of close games. Well, we don't.
No.
I mean, and nobody's
that was on full display, right? In the NFL yesterday, that was on full display. Kansas City gets in a game like that, they find a way. Right? It's crazy. You block a 35-yard field goal.
I was going to say, even a short field goal, they still find a way to block it. They find a way
to win that game. But it's a one-score game. They're coming out, obviously, on the right side of all those because they're undefeated at this point. Detroit last night was unbelievable. 23-7 at half. They get the turnover coming out of the locker room, and he throws another interception, right? One of the 5 that he threw. Goff did in that game last night. All of that was not enough for Detroit not to be able to overcome it. That's what the really good teams are capable of doing. That's on the opposite end of where the Jaguars are right now. It doesn't matter how close the game is. The Jags find a way to lose it, right? Detroit and the good teams find ways to win those games. The kind of in the middle teams find ways to win some, lose some when you get in those situations. Jacksonville can't find a way to win anything in those situations. And yesterday, the door was wide open.
It wasn't even a game where they had to fight and claw their way back into the game. They were up the majority of the game. It was like, okay, just at some point in some drive, go get some more points, because apparently it's hard for Minnesota to go down and score touchdowns too. So let's just add some threes to the board at least. But we couldn't do anything. We could not stay on the field to save our life. I'm not even sure what 3rd down is.
We were not that bad. We're better than Minnesota on 3rd down. That's the thing. They did their damage on 1st and 2nd down.
Wow.
Right? And because Minnesota was 5 of 14 on 3rd down. That's a pretty decent job by the defense, right? It's about a little over a third of time conversion. Jags were 5 of 11, nearly 50%. I mean, that's better. Yeah. It's just that the ones where we didn't convert, those were 3 and outs, basically. And so your drive's over. So, okay, we pick up a third down, but we're only picking up 1 on a given drive. The TJ Hawkinson had like 4 third down conversions on a single drive yesterday and converted another second down to a first down. That's where they got most of their conversions on that drive. I mean, Devin Lloyd had 16 tackles in the game. Why do you think that was? Yeah. Because he let the tight end catch the ball all day long, or somebody did. I don't know, but I'm not smart enough to figure out who was in coverage on the tight end, apparently. But, I mean, I know this.
Neither are they.
I guess it's Devin Lloyd's responsibility after the completion is made to get that guy on the ground. I'm sorry. I just we understand. You're playing with a backup quarterback. But plenty of teams have to play with backup quarterbacks, and your backup quarterback happens to have a lot of starting experience in the National Football League. He's supposedly one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league, we would think, right?
That's what I thought.
Right. So, and I'm not saying this is all Mac Jones' fault or anything like that. I mean, you get 1 week of reps at practice, and you're expected to go out there with what's been a dysfunctional offense and elevate it. I'm not saying that's easy to do by any stretch of the imagination, but where was any evidence that the coaching staff help Mac Jones to get anything out of his performance yesterday?
When you have one of the lowest yards and scoring and all that in your team's history in one game, that shows you that they did not have they didn't have him prepared, but once they got in the game, there was no adjustments whatsoever to try to figure some things out. Why did it take so long for us to start throwing the ball to BTJ? All these different things on the one scoring drive. We ran the ball a few times and got some good yardage out of it. I couldn't see anything coming from that afterwards. And then there was Mac just could not find anybody to get anybody the ball to even give us a chance to make any plays. It was sad.
I don't believe BTJ had a first half target in this game. And it's not like we're just throwing the ball over the lot and it's like, oh, wow, look. I mean, Parker Washington, I couldn't even remember seeing him on the field yesterday.
I don't remember seeing him either.
He had 23 snaps, not a single target. And look, I get it. Their game plan was obviously go heavy 12 personnel, right? Because between Ingram and either Strange or Farrell, they almost had 2 tight ends on the field pretty much the whole time, right? And may have had it on for the whole time.
But you still got receivers on the field.
You do, right? and so... Look, me personally, I'm playing Parker Washington before I play Gabe Davis. And I get it. They don't play the exact same role. But you tell me if Christian Kirk had been available yesterday that he wouldn't have played or would have played that small amount?
Well, on the other side, it did wonders for the run game.
Tell, Tone, because I'm not smart enough to figure it out.
I mean, just nothing good coming out of that game offensively yesterday. They ran for 56 yards.
It was on that one drive.
Look, I mentioned it on Friday when we were doing keys to the game, David. I had looked at what Minnesota had done so far this year, and I saw they were 5-0, and now 6-0 after that game yesterday. In games, they were 5-0 going into the game yesterday where they had committed 2 turnovers, right? They were 5-0 in that situation. Yesterday, they committed 3. I was like, this is not a death knell for this team.
No.
Right? And the reason it's not going to be a death knell is because they find a way to get a couple turnovers at some point. That's why they've been able to get to 5-0 at that point. When he had that first fumble, I was like, the game's over. Like the first turnover the Jags had, I was like, they can't overcome this.
Yeah.
Not in this game, not on this day.
Not when you had the whole game to go get some points. And now it's crunch time, and now that's when we're going to try to go get it.
We're looking up because we wanted the list of Jaguars' lowest offensive output performances. And in an article about that, I think it was going back to 2006. It really doesn't matter what the year was, okay? Because when I tell you the total amount of games, that will really paint the picture. But in games in which a team did not allow a touchdown by the opposite team and got 3 defensive turnovers, NFL teams were 195-0 in their last 195 attempts in those games.
Wow.
That's how bad your offense was yesterday for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But, hey, I'm sure all those Mac Jones should be the starting quarterback over Trevor Lawrence guys are going to call today with great enthusiasm for their guy.
Wait to hear it.
Look, I wasn't rooting against Mac Jones. I was so happy. I was fired up for him. Obviously, he's full of energy, and he's from Duval, and he gets in the end zone, and I'm like, damn, man. You know what? Maybe we just, simplified things, and Mac is just taking the open man, and is this going to be how it is? And maybe Trevor can learn something from watching
That's
this.
what I was hoping.
I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
I was hoping it, though.
And then my hopes were dashed after that point in time. All right.
Then our offense showed back up.
As always on a Monday, we ask for your reaction to how the Jaguars performed this week. So we'd love to hear from you. 12-7 loss to the Minnesota Vikings. You can hit us up on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at David Garrard _9 on Instagram. There it is. I'm not an Instagram guy. You might be able to tell. I'm really working on my TikTok profile right now. Yeah. And, of course, at 1010XL Denmark.
I'm just sorry we're in this situation.
So am I, Dylan. But I commiserate with you. But we're just a couple of dummies here talking about what we know nothing about, clearly. So let's try to figure out, amongst our numbskull selves, what went down with the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday at Everbank Stadium. If you want to get on board, you know the ways to do it. You can also hop in the YouTube virtual studio chat and post your thoughts there as well. Mike Dempsey, David Garrard, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you on a Reaction Monday. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Saw Hacker had a big celebratory weekend after he dropped over 100 pounds with Awaken 180. You may not need to lose 100 pounds, but maybe you do, right? And here's the key. You want to lose it, you want to keep it off, right? You don't want to yo-yo diet like you've done in the past. Well, Awaken 180 is not a diet, okay? It's not a scheme. It's a plan to help you lose weight. They can show you every step of the way, every step you're going to have to take to achieve your goals. And guess what? They're very successful at helping you achieve your goals. Over 24,000 customers now with Awaken 180 and over a 98% satisfaction rating. You eat to lose weight. Turn your body into a fat-burning machine. Look at the results. Hacker, Matt Hayes, myself, and plenty of people around Duval have had with Awaken 180 weight loss. How do you get involved? Be the next success story with Awaken 180 by picking up the phone and calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or schedule a free consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. We live the best moments from the weekend's games.
That's what superstars do.
Post-game Monday. Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day. Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Dream Finders Homes Monday
On Jaguars Today.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies. It's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals. Dine in with beer and wine. And delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our
Wanted? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems? Gun charges? Drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Go! Family, football, and Friday night traditions connect the past with the present.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
With Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Jacksonville was excited to see the return of the Mac on Sunday, and he wouldn't disappoint the fans as he'd get the home team on the board early. Mac Jones would find the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown, making the score 7-3 in favor of the Teal and Black with 3:44 left in the first. The Jones score is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Remember your first great cigar? Honestly, neither do we. But here's your chance to make a new memory with an extraordinary A.J. Fernandez cigar. Join us at Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road on November 16th from 1 to 4 p.m. for our A.J. Fernandez cigar event. Enjoy food, prizes, and incredible deals on A.J. Fernandez cigars. Come for the cigars, stay for the experience at Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
All right, we'll give you a chance to sound off on anything you like, as long as you keep it clean. Okay, we can't expect you to really know what you're talking about.
I can't promise that.
Right. Well, you can't promise to keep it clean?
I can't promise
All right. Somebody said on the text line, let's see if I find it, because here we go. Last week you told a caller it would have been absurd to sign Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry when you already had Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. You had then, period. You have to get a potential Hall of Fame game-changing player in their prime when you have the chance, especially when you have the salary cap space for them. It's a bad use of resources. I'm sorry. Etienne is by far not your worst starter, and that combination has been pretty good at times this year. Were they good yesterday? Not particularly, no. Tank Bigsby got banged up early on and only ended up with a couple of carries in the game, so who's to say as far as that goes? But, I mean, you can do that about every position in the league. Anytime a player comes out, so if you got a middle linebacker who you think is future Hall of Famer, we got Foye Oluokun. Doesn't matter. Let's go get him. Or is that a bad use of resources? Because you can't be great. You have to be competent in some areas. Yes, you have to fill in with, hopefully you have some great players. I absolutely stand by it. If we had spent $12 or $13 million on signing Saquon Barkley, I think it would have been a bad use of resources at the time. Because then you're basically throwing away the rest of Etienne's career here in Jacksonville. Bigsby will never get a chance to get going here in Jacksonville. Sometimes you have to develop younger players. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is. So I stand by those comments. And I guess every team in the league was stupid, right? Because every team could have signed those players. But What was
the Giants also didn't have to give him up. He was on their team. They know how dynamic he is. So
correct.
It happens.
It does happen. All right. Anyway, let's go to the lines here at 641-1010 if you want to weigh in today on your reaction to the Jags' 12-7 loss to the Minnesota Vikings yesterday. We'll start on the north side with Shauna. Shauna, good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing today?
All right. What's up?
So I'm calling because I would like to just add a couple points. First of all, I really think it's important that we set the context for our season in general, because the competition and the scheduling that we have since we had a great season, before we got put into the A side or the B plus side of scheduling in general, which made our competition way more intense. So we're going to have these battles now where we're expected to step up as a team, right? And I'm getting a lot of people are just really banging our defense because they allowed these many points and this and the third. But what we are not allowing is score. And that's what you want. So last night I'm thinking, either we got to be we can ask our defense to be a defense that keeps the other team from scoring, or we can ask our defense to be a defense that scores. But it's a super hard ask to have them be both. And I know that has happened. That's how the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl. Nobody scored on them, and they scored points. But we're talking about, really great competition.
Now, Shauna, let me interject here. All right, first, I think you made your point. The schedule thing is a complete fallacy, okay? The Jags finished second last year, okay? Now, they're playing the AFC East, so they're going to play that division in its entirety, okay? So the teams, because you finished second last year, that you're playing in the West and the North are the Raiders and the Browns. Those are terrible teams. Yeah. Terrible teams. And you lost to the Browns. You're only one of two teams to lose to the Browns this year. That's the one game difference. Had you finished in first, you would have been playing the Ravens and the Chiefs. But you're not. You're playing teams that are miserable this year. So there's no upgraded schedule. The schedule you play compared to your division is almost the exact same schedule with the exception of a couple of games. That's it. And then I guess the one NFC game against a second-place team. But it's minimal impact. And the way it worked out this year,
it was the Eagles would be the other.
Okay, so the Eagles being the other one. And regardless,
Eagles are the Eagles. Yeah.
You could have, right. And had you finished in first, you would have ended up playing, what, Dallas?
Yeah.
You would have rather finished, right? I mean, so, you know what I mean? The team that finished in first got an easier team than the team that finished in second. This whole conception about you finish in first and your schedule is this much more difficult. No, it's not. It just isn't. It's a couple of games are different. Yeah. And if it works out like it did this year, you play the Browns and the Raiders.
Yeah.
And had you played the AFC East, only the second place team, it would be the 2-win Dolphins. You lost to all those teams. Well, the Raiders upcoming. Maybe I'm just looking into the future. I don't know. But look, I get it. And great for the defense that they held them down to 7 yesterday. Oh, if we're just judging it on yesterday's performance, fine. But what about the 28 the week before, the 30 the week before that, right? Or the 35 2 weeks before that, or the 34 the week before that? I mean, so this has not been the level of performance we've gotten out of the defense this year. And good for that. But that goes to part of the problem, Dave. Defense plays well 1 week. Offense plays well 1 week. Or sometimes neither one of them play well. But rarely do they both play well in the same game. And that's why they're 2-8.
That's been their biggest problem.
Shauna, thank you for the call. I just disagree with the main point. The whole schedule thing is just, it's been a fallacy.
Also, you got to line up and play whoever's in front of you. This is the NFL.
Right. And by the way, if you are a team, by the way, you earn that. Okay. So by finishing in first, let's say in 2022, and you played the first place teams in those divisions, well, they got to play you. You're supposed to be one of those ascending first place teams that everyone else has to play.
Yeah.
So this is not patty cake, whatever.
No.
This is big boy football. Play who you play. We got to. In fact, the reason why the Jags with 2 wins would have the first pick in the draft today is because their schedule is weaker than all the other 2-win teams.
Correct.
They're playing teams collectively that are under 500.
Yeah.
A 478 winning percentage collectively. That's bad.
Yep.
That's why you have in place for the first pick in the draft today. There's no excuses. The schedule is not an excuse whatsoever for this team. Jeff in Middleburg, you're up next on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I've been a long-time fan of Jacksonville. We love them. We were so excited when we got Trevor. And I said to my roommate at that time, if they do not get an offensive line, they are not going to be able to protect this man. They're going to hurt him. And after we had the great one take him for his first year and ruin him almost, he was almost over with then. Then Doug came in. They started to liven up better, but they still don't get no offensive line. The offensive line, when we were good with Bo Selly and Cersei, was the best ones we had. After that, we have not had an offensive line. Until we get an offensive line, we will never be any good.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
You played behind a pretty good one, Dave.
I thought so.
Yeah. By the way, Trevor got hurt running the ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the pocket. He didn't get hurt in the pocket. He hasn't been smashed this year.
Nope.
I don't think. I think the offensive line has been competent this year. I mean, so Mac Jones took 3 sacks yesterday. Big deal. It's the NFL. You're going to get sacked on occasion. You know, it's like I don't think this has been some glaring issue for this team.
Running the ball's been their biggest struggle.
But in terms of Trevor getting killed,
no.
I haven't felt like that this year at all.
Not at all.
Anyway, appreciate the call. Look, we all want the best offensive line possible for this team. No question about it. I don't think that Trevor getting beat to hell behind this offensive line is relevant. I mean, I don't think that's anywhere near the top of the list of concerns for this particular 2-8 team. Let's get Robert in South Carolina before we hit the break. What's up, Robert?
I'm going to tell you something. Frustration is the number one word here in the Duval, right? I believe that Shad needs to go in and take a little play, get out of the Trayvon Walker playbook and go in to Balky's office and go Joe Pesci and Goodfellas on him. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing this fan base. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. And that's it. And let's just be done with this.
All right, Robert, appreciate it. This one passed along here. I don't know. What's the source that this is coming? Is this a PFF one?
Yeah, Daniel Griffiths uses a lot of PFF, usually.
All right, Daniel Griffiths tweeted this out. These are pressures allowed yesterday. Everyone's source, sometimes one source counts a pressure different than another one. But let's take this as accurate for purposes of this conversation. The Jaguars allowed 8 pressures yesterday. 8 pressures. Now, 3 of them resulted in sacks. 3 of those pressures were allowed by Travis Etienne.
Oh, you had a terrible day block.
Okay. Another one was allowed by Tank Bigsby.
Yep, I saw that one.
Okay. So one was allowed by Blake Hance, who is your backup, really your third string left guard. Okay. One pressure allowed by your third string guard, not the worst thing in the world. So then outside of that, Anton allowed 2 and Sheriff allowed 1 pressure. Walker Little, not a single one. Mitch Morse, not a single one yesterday. So is that a terrible performance in terms of pass protection by the offensive line?
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either. That go back and watch the interception he threw in the middle of the field trying to hit Gabe Davis. Mac Jones had all the time he needed.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know what Gabe was supposed to be doing. Maybe he should have been fighting through for the ball or whatever. I'm not saying it's fully on Mac.
No, that was coverage. Coverage, he shouldn't have thrown there.
Okay.
Sorry.
You sure you know enough about playing quarterback to figure that out? Just asking for a friend. All right, let's take a break here. We'll come back with more of your calls at 641-1010. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just frustrated with the situation like you all are. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with, everyone feels like they've got the root. If we only fix this, if we only fix that, we'll continue to bemoan the 12-7
I wish
defeat.
I was that certain.
Right.
Yeah. I wish I had some of these people's certainty with this stuff. It's like, throw a dart.
Sure,
that's a problem.
Every time something we feel like it's fixed, it's like there's another leak somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, let's take a break. It's Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Anderson. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, save 20% on your entire project. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hicken here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Devin Lloyd had a strong performance over the weekend against the Vikings. The teal and black linebacker recorded a game-high 16 tackles, 9 of which were solo. Number 33 was a perfect 10 while on the field for Jacksonville, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic.
My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is the diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty. and to us whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Are you an experienced plumber or welder with MedGas certification and you're tired of being undervalued? It's time to make the move to Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. With the best pay in the business, you'll earn $36.50 an hour. With benefits, that's almost $50. It's not just a job, it's a career that values you. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Last night on the fifth quarter, Hacker had some thoughts on these post-game comments by Doug Pederson.
Yeah, I'm not going to go through the details of the play because you guys wouldn't figure it out, but we'll look at the tape tomorrow and we'll make those corrections.
You know, you can get as testy with us as you want, Doug Pederson, and you can say, well, you guys wouldn't understand anyway. You know what I do understand? Let me tell you what I do understand. I understand that in the last 16 games that you've been the Jacksonville Jaguar head coach, you've lost 13 of them. So don't get with us about you guys wouldn't understand what we're talking about anyway. Maybe you don't understand what you're doing because you're 3-13 in the last 16, and it's absolutely unacceptable.
Hacker last night on the fifth quarter after the loss to the Vikings. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
All right, we continue on a Reaction Monday. None of it really good, and understandably so. 12-7, the Jags. Hey, great. Defense only allowed 7 points. Only allowed 12 points yesterday. 4 field goals allowed. And so, overall, that is the main job of the defense. Sometimes you have those bend but don't break performances, so I'll give them credit for that. But still, second longest time of possession allowed to an opponent in Jaguar franchise history. I mean, you know.
But you can't keep giving the ball back to your offense and then they come right back off the field and give it right back, you know?
Understand.
That's tough.
But how about when you go, I don't know, let's see here. You give up a 12-play field goal drive. Your offense comes back, and they get a touchdown on the next drive. Okay, so then you get a pick, give it back to the offense, and they go 3 and out. Okay, but they went 3 and out, but they scored a touchdown on the drive. Then you let them go on a 17-play drive. We're still in the first quarter. The Vikings have had 2 drives combining for 29 plays in the first quarter.
Wow.
Jags had what, Tony? 40 snaps? 44 snaps?
Something like that.
Offensively in the game?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, 82 plays allowed.
Yeah. But still, with opportunities for your offense to go down and get some more points.
I get it. Offense was miserable. Not arguing against that. I'm just saying, the defense does get credit for holding them to 12, and they also get credit for the direct comparison to the offense, right? That's what we do every week. Which one was worse? Which one's more to blame?
If we had beat them 30-12, then we would be like, defense, y'all balled out. Because the offense came out.
If they had won 14-12, I think we would have said close to that.
Yeah.
At least the defense. I mean, it wouldn't change what the defense did.
It wouldn't, but it gave the offense opportunities to go out and score some touchdowns.
Correct.
We've been holding them to 3 points all game. Just go get a chunk play so that the game turns around for us. But we never.
You know who's good at chunk plays? Brian Thomas Jr. is good at chunk plays. But apparently now, if you put a safety anywhere near Brian Thomas Jr., we're never going to throw to him again because he's cloud coverage.
Yeah.
Cloud coverage. I mean, I guess we never doubled Justin Jefferson at all yesterday. You got 9 targets.
That's fine.
Great job, by the way, on the secondary on Justin Jefferson.
I give him a ton of credit for what they did with Jefferson.
Great job.
5 for 48. The 3 picks were all throws that were intended for Jefferson on top of it. Like, they did an incredible job on that guy in yesterday's game. The tight ends is still a big issue for the team.
By the way, when did now we figure out that it's okay for certain guys to play 100% of the snaps? Now that when we're playing 82 defensive snaps, Foye doesn't have to come off the field. But all season we've been rotating him? Like, the stupidity of this.
Yeah.
Darnell Savage played all 82 defensive snaps yesterday. He's played basically every snap for the last month.
As he should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what your starters do.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is a thing to pull him off the field.
I get it with pass rush, right? Like, those guys are going crazy hard and exhausting themselves, and you play them 3/4 of the time. Fine, right? We get that. Foye's proven you should never come off the field.
Take him
and they apparently had a change of heart. Let him play 82 snaps yesterday, when earlier in the year it'd be like 60's too many. You know, we got to rest him. We got to rotate him. Hockey substitution. Let's go to Mark on the south side. I'm just frustrated, man. Mark, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, please.
I am just as frustrated. This team is almost unwatchable, man. It's terrible. This offense, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this offense is broken. I'm not smart enough to tell you why.
No, you're not.
But yeah, good point. But it looks like Montana State trying to drive the ball on Alabama. I mean, it should never look like that in the NFL. I know Trevor was hurt, but still, I mean, it's just atrocious. If I'm shot, I gotta fire Doug before the end of the season. I really do, because it's unwatchable at this point.
All right, Mark.
Fire Doug.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done with your point.
No, and Bulky's got to go as well. It's just unwatchable, and it's just awful. I don't know what else to say.
I appreciate it, man. I think you speak for a lot of fans that don't have answers.
I think yesterday, David, it does expose how bad the offense is right now, right? That when Trevor Lawrence plays, they at least look like they might be able to threaten somebody.
Yeah.
Right? It's not all the time. It's not as much as we would expect it to be with Trevor Lawrence being the quarterback that's on the field. We all have higher expectations than what we've gotten from him here this year. But you put the backup quarterback out there. Mac Jones isn't a complete dud of a quarterback from an NFL standard. They were pathetic on offense yesterday, and I think it does expose a lot of where the offense is right now, and the quarterback at least keeps them afloat with how bad the offense apparently is for the Jags in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I think yesterday kind of showed you when Trevor heats up, in the second half and kind of gets things going, we've got a chance at coming back. We've got a chance at pushing the lead up some. Where yesterday, I never felt like there was a chance for us to get a rhythm going, get going, put some points on the board. Even like you said, when we got down there towards the end and we had all those turnovers, I still never felt like, oh, we've got the ball back. Great. Now's our opportunity that we're going to go down, where I do feel like Trevor has gained that and earned that he does heat up and he will go down at the end of games and get some points for you. Where I feel like yesterday, I felt like we missed him. We should have had him out there, but if he was out there, I think we would have had a better chance.
Yeah, it's not one of these watching the game yesterday. I'm not saying if Trevor played, they would have won.
Yeah.
I'm saying if Trevor played, I would have felt like they had a chance to win.
Yep.
And with Mac at quarterback yesterday, they just didn't. Right? Like, I never felt like they had a real chance to win that game, despite the fact that the defense did force 3 turnovers and forced 4 field goals in a game, against Minnesota yesterday. Offensively, I just never expected them to threaten again after that touchdown.
I was going to say on the second drive, that's when I felt like, okay, maybe there's something here. Let's show us, go prove it to us again, Mac. Go get another touchdown.
Dylan, you got that cut from Bucky Brooks conversation. This is Bucky Brooks. Doug holds his press conference after the game, and we wait for him to finish at the podium. Then he comes and talks to Bucky on our post-game show. So here's what he had to say. Bucky Brooks asked Doug Pederson, basically, how do you think Mac Jones did today? What about Mac?
With Mac, it's not – this isn't – trust me, it's not on him, Obviously, I'm the head coach. He's the quarterback, so we're going to get the blame for these things. But, it's – he fought his tail off, all those guys did, and it's just it's frustrating, another one-score game.
Okay. As soon as I heard this, this really raised my hackles, okay? This is not on him, Mac Jones, okay? You're protecting your quarterback. Then he puts himself right in that circle with Mac Jones. Well, I'm the head coach, he's the quarterback, so we're going to get the blame, basically, whether it's our fault or not. So you're basically, when you say Mac Jones, it's not on him. And here the two of us are standing together getting his blame. Well, by association, you're saying, it ain't on me. Who is it on? Because you back press Taylor to the hilt. Who is this on? Who are you going to blame this on? Trevor's shoulder? Who is this on?
It's got to be on somebody.
It's got to be on somebody. I like to understand what, are you suggesting you're not responsible? You're responsible for everything.
Everything
On this team. I don't care if you're, and by the way, the side you're supposed to be strongest on it was the weakest yesterday. You're supposed to be the offensive guy. Anyway.
I don't know where they'd be right now without Trevor Lawrence, right? Because every time the coach is willing to put it on Trevor when they lose the game, and he's been willing to.
But not Mac, but it's not on Mac yesterday.
He's been willing to, and then Trevor's like, yeah, I got to be better. That's Trevor's response every time anyone has come at him from that angle. He's just like, yeah, I got to be better.
And by the way, Mac Jones took all the heat yesterday.
I know he did.
Total pro. So, not at all trying to throw shade at Mac Jones. Really not. Mac's like, I got to be better, man. Even the snap. The snap was absurd on the fumble, right?
Sure.
Morris is jacking that thing up above his hands. And I'm not saying, he's saying, look, doesn't matter. I'm the quarterback. I got it. That's what you do.
That's what he's supposed to do.
You take, and he did like a man. Mac Jones stood there like a man, and it's like, it's on me, man. I got to be better. Me.
It's weird to see the coach that's willing to put it on the quarterback when it's Trevor and not Mac, and then say, well, it's both of us, and everyone's going to blame us.
Everyone's going to blame the coach and the quarterback no matter what we do, so we're just used to it. You should be at this point. You should be very used to it. Absolutely. Cody in Gainesville, next on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, my question is, if, we go ahead and fire everybody like we say we need to, who's Shad Khan listening to as far as football moves? Does anybody know? Because Lord knows whoever he listened to higher in bulky needs to go away. But just that's my concern. Who's Shad Khan going to be listening to? Because you clearly hear between Pederson and Balky and everybody in the organization. It's not my fault. It's not my fault we suck, so.
Best team ever assembled.
Who's Shad Khan going to, actually say, okay, well, it's everybody's fault. This is who's going to help us redirect this franchise. Because clearly he's willing to spend the money on the team to win. So, he just, I think, needs the right guy in his ear,
That's a great point, Cody, and it's a very fair question.
Yeah.
I don't know who Shad's confidants are.
No.
Tony Khan, I assume.
That's who I was thinking.
And I think Tony, look, you can.
But I don't know how much he knows.
But I think he's got to. Tony's savvy, at least. He knows. He's got to know what is said about what's being said about Trent Baalke and the history and why people feel like he's not a good fit and all these things. I don't know who Shad is listening to. Though.
It's why I think a lot of us got excited when Tom Coughlin was brought back in, right? Because it felt like there was a football guy at the top of this mountain, right, in the building that Shad could lean on in these kind of moments. Unfortunately, it played out the way it played out, and TC's not here to be that guy.
Tom wanted to roll the clock back like pre-Giants days and grind the guys into a nub.
Right, and I don't know who the next guy on that list would even be for Shad Khan at this point, but I'm there. I don't know who it should be, but it can't be the group they have in the building right now.
Why would you know? You're not smart enough to figure it out, Tony. Come on. All right, let's take a time out here. Another hour to go. 641-1010 on the Garber Automall phone lines. Your reaction to the Jags falling to 2-8 with a 12-7 loss to the Minnesota Vikings yesterday. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You know what? If Devon Achane has any kind of night, it's going to be me buying breakfast this week. So maybe, finally, the boys will get to try some of the dandy goodies that they roll out there every single day, just waiting for you to drive into an area gate station, head to the Fresh Case, and look for some of those delicious breakfast items like sizzling country sausage or Black Forest ham, thick sliced bacon, peppered fried eggs, buttermilk biscuits, soft flaky croissants. My favorite is the French toast. They even have light tasty maple waffles. You name it, they've got it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Protein packs, veggie trays, fruit cups, salads. They've got a little bit of everything. Light lunchtime wraps, breakfast sliders. Dandy can fill your belly, and they'll do it with the highest quality food made with the highest quality ingredients, locally sourced as often as possible. When you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. The game where every yard counts. One player's performance stands out. That's what you want from a leader. Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Touchdown, what a throw! On 1010XL.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at MacKenziesRun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. MacKenziesRun.org.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me.
thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
If you're getting engaged this holiday season, celebrating an anniversary, birthday, or shopping early for the holidays,
You do not want to miss Beards Diamond's incredible 44th anniversary sale
everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 44% off.
at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do. It's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by First Coast Honda Dealers. The loss to Texas was without freshman quarterback DJ Lagway. Gator head coach Billy Napier wanted to play it safe with the talented freshman.
I think you're risking putting him out there with the soft tissue injury. All the metrics, he's not quite ready to do it.
One of the shockers on Saturday was Georgia losing to Ole Miss. For Georgia head coach Kirby Smart, talent on Ole Miss came as no surprise.
Felt like they're probably the most talented team that we have played, counting both sides of the ball and special teams.
The Florida State Seminoles wrapped up their last road game of the 2024 season with a devastating loss to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Head coach Mike Norville called it unacceptable.
Really disappointing outcome. Obviously, for a football team, we all expect better. We all understand that that's no way acceptable.
That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:59, it's 78 degrees. Time at 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
All right, overdue on my part. Happy Veterans Day to all you vets out there. Okay, I appreciate all those folks out there. I think most people do that understand that people are willing to, put themselves in harm's way to protect your rights and your lives and your way of life and all that stuff. So we respect and appreciate all of you guys out there. And a lot of businesses give off because they assume a lot of people are veterans and what have you, and it's that kind of day. And so when I found out there'd be no Jaguar programming this afternoon, I had to thank J.P. Shattuck for his service. Oh, wait. They're just getting the day off. Good for them, but happy Veterans Day to all you veterans out there. We do appreciate you very much. All right, let's go back to the lines at 641-1010 and welcome Scott on the west side on a Reaction Monday. Scott, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, please.
Hey, crew, how y'all doing?
We're hanging in, man. What's up?
Man, it should be a criminal offense to what this staff is doing to Trevor Lawrence. We need somebody at the helm of this football program that has some ties to this city, someone who is passionate and someone that is involved in this community. David, you don't think you and the boys can get back together, turn this thing around? I mean, you, Tony, we'll get Fred in here, some guys that care about this program, and someone that's really going to dedicate their time and just make sure that this thing gets turned around. Like I said, it should be an absolute criminal offense what they're doing to Trevor right now, and we just need to get these guys out of here ASAP.
All right, Scott, appreciate it. DG, any coaching aspirations?
If it was right here in town, yeah, I would. But these coaches, they come in with all their guys, and if you haven't been with their staffs, they don't care about the local talent that's there that's still kind of lingering around.
That's why Keenan McCardle was coaching on the other sideline.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have their guys. They're going to do what they do, and everybody with their egos feels like they can fix that program. They can fix Trevor Lawrence and whatever's going on around them. We can make things better. Just give us the opportunity.
Look, I can't speak for what Shad Khan's going to do. I don't even know if he's going to change the coaching staff, right? Yeah. I would find it hard, Tony, to believe he's not going to make some major changes. But I can't
We don't know until it
so
happens,
we don't know,
yeah.
right? But one of the guys who obviously is highly coveted in coaching circles is Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Detroit, who has said, if I become a head coach, I'm going to call plays. That's what kind of head coach I want to be. Who's this quarterback's coach up in Detroit? Mr. Purnell.
Somebody we know.
You know, so especially like Mark's done, last night notwithstanding, bunch of interceptions for Goff, he's had a terrific year.
Yep.
Okay? And so imagine if Mark Purnell got a chance to be an offensive coordinator, and particularly if he didn't have to call plays, right? Like in his first foray into being an OC, and he's learning, continuing to learn from Ben Johnson. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, can't be the only person who's thought of that, obviously.
Yeah.
I know that's been bandied about a little bit out there.
Look, and I don't think I don't know what all jobs are going to come open this offseason, right? Because we know some that are. Right, and Jacksonville certainly could be among them, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of jobs that have a more tempting quarterback situation than Trevor Lawrence.
Well, let's see. What are open right now? The Jets have an interim, and the Saints have an interim.
Yeah. Way prefer this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not sure what other jobs that would come open that you'd be like, yeah, I'd like to work with that guy. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot of that. I think Jacksonville, if they do open up the job, could be the only one that would be, yeah, I want to work with that guy at quarterback, right? I think they're the only situation that has that among the teams that could come open this year. That should be a good enough carrot to get something. I don't know what exactly it would be. But
my concern would be why this is the third time. Why is that job continuing to come open?
I get it.
You know, because you got the guy there. Got Doug
Well, we know
Pederson.
why the first one came open, because the guy was a complete
awful.
mess and had no character, right? Which never should have been hired. All right, so then you get in
that still goes on your record, though.
Okay, but it happened, right? And that went down the way it went down. So then you bring in a Super Bowl winning coach who, in his first year, helped them win the division, won a playoff game, feel like we're on the upswing, right? Yet last year, 8-3. Bunch of injuries to the quarterback, cumulative effect. You can't get across the finish line. You still finish with a winning record. This year's a complete and utter collapse. You know, if they were battling towards another 9-8 finish this year, I think people. There's always going to be people. Right. There are always going to be people that are like, it's not good enough, whatever it is. You know, barring a Super Bowl, and that's fine. All right, let's get back to the lines here and see what other folks think about it. Ray is next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
All right. What's up?
Not so much complain about the Jaguars, but looking back at the whole program itself. I mean, Jaguars for the last 10 years, last decade, is the worst team in the NFL. They won 55 and lost 108. It's not a coaching problem. It's just absolutely ingrained. They need to just reinvent the whole team all over again. I'll take it offline. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
We're going to get a new stadium.
We're going to fire all the players and then start with a whole fresh batch?
He wants us to start, once the stadium's done, then we can continue on in the NFL.
And I do understand this has been systemic for a while, and it goes to who is Shad Khan leaning on for advice when he makes his coaching hires or his front office hires. And so I get that, but when you say, like, well, I don't understand, like, need to start the whole thing over. What does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, other than cleaning house with the coaching staff, which you did just a couple of years ago with Doug Pederson coming in. This is his third year. You wipe it clean, you start over again. And, I mean, so what?
I'm not sure about that, but I just know that Detroit is showing you that you can have decades of piss-poor teams and eventually get yourselves out of it. You don't want to have to go 20 years from now to finally realize, oh, we're now a Super Bowl contending team. But it can happen, and they're showing you that if you get the right coach, you have the right quarterback and the right pieces around everybody, things can be productive and you can be a team. The Chiefs haven't always been just this amazing.
Tony loves to look up attendance records for the Chiefs when they stunk.
Yeah.
Because Arrowhead was half empty back in the day.
Yep.
You know, Green Bay Packers went a long period of time between Bart Starr and Brett Favre before they were really relevant in the National Football League. I mean, Cleveland's never been to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying you should feel any better as a Jag fan. You go, well, they suck too. Well, but it is
they've
a
been
reality.
Playing in their organizations a lot longer.
Decades and decades longer.
Yeah.
Right? So all that tells you is it may not be over anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, my Chiefs stat is from 1974 to 1988, so 15 years. The Chiefs sold out just 3 games.
3 games.
Wow.
But, we're different in Arrowhead land.
Yeah.
New England was getting ready to leave town until Kraft bought it. They were getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that was the expectation. And then they turned it around. Right? It's possible for these teams that are that low at times to get something turned around, but you got to start doing some things right to get it turned around. There's no doubt about that.
All right, let's go to Austin on the south side next up. What's up, Austin?
How are you?
Okay, what's up?
I had a question and a comment.
Okay.
My question is do you think we just throw our hands up and just tank for Travis Hunter and keep the number 1 pick? That's my first question. Then when you answer, I got a comment.
My answer will be no, and I'll explain why in a second. But go ahead, and what's your comment?
My comment would be is I can guarantee you if Trayvon did that with Georgia, what he did the last play where he got a flag, I know that Kirby would be in his butt, and we need more coaches like that where they get in the players' butts if they screw something up instead of just sitting there on the sideline.
All right, appreciate it. Kirby maybe needs to get people to stop street racing. Maybe he needs to get in somebody's face on that issue.
That was going to be my thing.
Because he certainly hasn't gotten a grip on that. But beyond that, Trayvon, I don't care if he was punching at the ball or what. You can't get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty and end the game for your team.
No.
You can't do it, right? But, okay, so at that point, then what?
And even in that situation, you made one punch, okay? But the guy is stopped. He's not going anywhere. Why are you continuing?
I don't get it. And look, were they going to win with 15 seconds left if they forced a punt? No. But
you want to give your team every
the only chance they had is to force that punt, right?
Or to block it.
But here's why they won't tank. Who's going to tank? Who's going to tank?
Yeah.
Mac Jones going to tank? Because he doesn't want somebody else to sign him in the offseason? If Trevor comes back, he's going to tank so he can just, lose a bunch of games? I mean, half the players might not be here next year. They're putting their resume on film.
Yeah.
I mean, the coaching staff or the front office, okay, if we get the number 1 pick, are we going to be able to be here to exercise it and use it and benefit from it? No. We're not.
I hope not. Yeah.
You're right. If you're a first-year coach and you're turning it over, and there's probably some of the, you know what, man, maybe we'll we'll experiment with some of the young guys.
Younger guys, right? Yeah.
There's some of that. But when you got a situation like this where it looks like it's swirling the bowl, who's to benefit from that number 1 pick? The next coach. Well, you don't care if you get the number 1 pick. I mean, Travis Hunter or whomever is not coming in to save Doug Pederson and Trent Ball. At least he shouldn't be. If you finish with the number 1 pick in the draft, buddy, I don't care if it happens today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever. Clean everything out. Sweep the corners. Don't forget to sweep the corners. We've heard that before in Jaguar history. Got to get out there and sweep. So, no, I don't think you're going to see this team tank. I mean, it's even rare. You get in a position, it's like the Jets a few years ago. All they had to do was lose a handful more games, and they'd have the number 1 pick and Trevor Lawrence. And the players don't want to tank, Dave.
Even the young guys, they're going to go out and give it even more. Now, they might not be as good as the starter, but they're going to still go out and work just as hard all the way to the end. Your older veteran guys may be trying to protect themselves so they don't get hurt as they go into the offseason and that kind of stuff. But football is not a game where you can just, step to the side here and let the guy run in for a touchdown. If you do, everybody sees it and it's clear. And they're going to be calling for that guy to be off the team if that's the case.
Yeah.
Or you ease up and you get physically hurt.
And you get hurt. That's why it is almost impossible to just tank. Now, if you start putting in guys that are coming off your practice squad and
that's
how
you tank.
Then that's how you tank.
That is how you tank, but that's only going to come from a front office coaching staff that feels very secure in their place. And who knows? For all we know, maybe that's how they feel.
Yeah.
Because they're certainly acting like they have not a care in the world.
Just recognize the difference between you've gotten past the point of pulling for them to win every week. You'd like to see them lose because you think it helps their draft position. I don't think that's a ridiculous thing to do as a fan.
I don't either.
I would like to see them lose because I want to protect whatever draft position they have. The season's already done. I get that. Thinking that because you're in that headspace, the team has to be in that headspace is nuts. NFL teams, if they do get there, it is extremely rare that they get to the point where they are calling guys up off the practice squad because we want to limit our chances to win this week as much as we can control, limiting our chances to win week to week. I don't even think they did that the year that they wound up winning Trevor Lawrence. I think they were just so bad that it didn't matter.
I think you're probably right. Tampa did it. The year Jameis was coming out.
Yes.
Right? They pulled all their starters in the second half of the game they were leading in the last week of the season that if they won, it would have cost them the first pick. They're like, oh, we wanted to get a look at some other guys. We all knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I didn't blame them.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're rooting for your team, but rooting for your team takes on multiple facets.
That
right?
is
It's not
rooting
just
for your team.
winning Sunday. It's like I'm rooting for my team to eventually win a Super Bowl. So I want the assets to help us get there. So that's fair game, in my opinion. Tom in Arlington next up on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Tom.
I think a big thing with fans, the ones that have been there a long time, the north end zone, I don't sit down there. That used to be like where the dedicated people and all were. Yesterday, that was 90% purple. The week before, it was 70% purple. I think people are fed up with an absentee owner that you don't see around. He doesn't show any spark, any excitement. I mean, he doesn't post anything. We don't want Jerry Jones, but we want somebody that seems to be involved. It's not, oh, shucks, we lost again type thing. Yes, he does put the money out and all, but in any other business, where it be a restaurant or something like that, you would like to see the guy around. And the comment was made yesterday, I mean, as they show Shad Khan's boat going up the river and all, would you set out to go to England in that boat if you knew it was running like his football team was? And the answer to that question is it wouldn't make it. It probably wouldn't make it to the end of the river. I mean, it's not fun down there anymore. $15 beers, $22 drinks, $12 hot dogs. It's not fun anymore, and it's not fun to go down there. And I'm going to be honest with you. We have had in the last two games at least 75,000, probably closer to 100,000 fans of the opposing team inside of that stadium.
All right, Tom, appreciate the call. I respect your frustration. Can't speak for your personal experience, like and the concession thing is what it is. But the Jags will probably tell you, hey, we allow you to bring stuff in if you want to. But the thing about Shad Khan being an absentee owner, how many owners? I mean, you say you don't want Jerry Jones, okay? Who do you want? Because most of them are absentee owners.
You want to see them win. I get it.
Right.
Like, that's the first. Who cares how much you see the owner if they're winning football games?
If they're winning. If
right?
you
want them to show up now because you want them to come in the building and clean everyone out. We get it. Right? Like, and no one's arguing that we don't want it too. Like, we do want to see the house be cleaned, right, in the front office and the head coach spot, and it seems like the coach is half begging for it to happen at this point in time. But it is what it is. I don't need to see Shad Khan a whole lot more than we see him.
No.
Right?
We don't, but I get fans who feel that way. I don't know what effect
I just don't want a cheap owner, somebody that's not going to put that. I know, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, now maybe sometimes he holds on to coaches or GMs a little too long, but that's not the reason. I don't know. That's getting a little above my pay grade.
Look, and Tom's not the only person who feels that way, right? I do get it, but I wonder. You go around these other organizations and look at these teams that are losing. How, in terms of the day-to-day, week-to-week operation, how visible are they? I really don't know because I'm not. But I think there's probably a lot of them that are you never see or hear from practically. Except if it's at the owners' meetings or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Tom, we do appreciate the call. 641-1010 for the rest of you who'd like to get on. If you're on the line, hang in there. We'll get to you coming up next. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Even the best teams can lose steam when their best players end up on the sidelines.
In case you haven't noticed, our receiver corps is decimated.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville. It's part of the game, though,
On 1010XL.
Movember is Men's Health Awareness Month, so take charge of your health and vitality at Ackerman Urology in Mandarin, Middleburg, The Beaches, and Whirl Golf Village. For prostate and urological needs, trust Ackerman Urology. AckermanUrology.com.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Is an injury keeping you on the sidelines? Whether it's your shoulder, neck, back, knee, wrist, or ankle, don't let pain hold you back any longer. At Injury Care Centers, they offer the same high-tech treatments trusted by the pros to supercharge your recovery without surgery. The road to recovery starts the moment you pick up the phone. 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008. Injury care starts at Injury Care Centers.
It's a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, it's Prosper here, and if you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low fives, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis, express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today. You won't make a house payment till 2025. 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com or 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Break in the savings this fall with Universal Roof and Contracting. Enjoy 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a free wind mitigation inspection. With financing options as low as $115 a month, protecting your home has never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP. Offer expires November 30th. Protect your home and your wallet.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
The 1010XL restaurant of the day is Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island. Enjoy Monday Night Football with freshly made pizza, burgers, wings, sandwiches, and a full liquor bar at Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island.
Get the latest on the Gators from one of the greatest Gators.
Touchdown, Gators!
Chris Doring joins Dan and Jeff on the Drill Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Cigar smokers, Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center. A massive 6,200 square foot space with over 600 cigar brands, a full-service bar, indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Grand opening event this Saturday with live music, raffles, and specials. Enjoy $5 off a $25 purchase or more. Just mention code RadioXL at checkout. Don't miss the new Cigars International Superstore grand opening at the Town Center this Saturday.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Picking here with a message from Zero Res. You gotta just love this time of the year as we reflect on the things that matter most. Families, homes, the holidays, and of course football. They're very grateful for you all, the good people of Jacksonville, and they want to thank you. So get ready for the holidays. Book today, and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Plus, they'll give you 25% off your tile cleaning. This one fills up fast, so book now on both carpet and tile. Zero Res. Fill it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Hurricane season is here, and now's the time to think about a home generator. My friends at Ricketts Electric can make sure your home always has power. They can install the perfect generator for your home and are even offering a 10% discount this month if you mention 1010XL. So call my friend Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960 or find them on Facebook. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them at 320-5960.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
No draft talk, Tony. But I'm going to ask you a hypothetical. Okay. Let's say a team had the number one pick in the draft, and there was only maybe one or two quarterbacks worth trading up for, right? Mm-hmm. And the team that had the number 3 pick in the draft, hypothetically, was a division rival, hated division rival. Would you allow them to trade up to number 1 to get the quarterback of their choice?
You rely on me to figure this out on a day like today?
Well, I don't think you can figure it out, but I thought you might take a wild guess. It's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Depends on what you think about the quarterback, right?
That's part of it, sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you think they're making a bad move by going up and getting that quarterback? I'm just saying, by the way, coincidentally, the Jags had the first pick in the draft if the draft were held today, and Tennessee's third. Just saying. But that had nothing to do with that because we don't allow draft talk.
Okay, got you.
Until we say.
Because I was concerned that we were starting draft talk.
I know you were. I could see the look on your face. You're like, I can't figure out what he's doing. There's a lot of that going around, Dave. Let's go to Greg on the north side. Thanks for hanging on, Greg. What's on your mind this morning?
Morning, gentlemen. I have 4 points I wanted to make. First, your previous caller that was talking about the fact that we had 75,000 to 100,000 purple people at the stadium. Well, it only holds 69,000 people.
Greg, he said over the last several weeks combined. Yeah. So.
I know. I've been a season ticket holder 25 years, and I get it. Trust me. I go every week and see all these away team fans. It's annoying, but winning fixes that.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Here's my problem with Shad. Shad, to me, treats this like it's a hobby almost. And it's like he owns a NASCAR team but knows nothing about cars. I think he needs to go out, and before we talk about getting a general manager, he needs to go back to the idea we had like 3 or 4 years ago, bring in a football person to run everything.
How does he know which football person to hire? Who tells him?
I got a great name for you. Tony Baselli would be an excellent choice for that.
So you're his advisor. Greg on the north side, is that who he should go? I'm just asking. I understand a lot of people have put forth Tony's name for that, but it's the same thing. What makes Tony qualified? Who's to say that Tony's qualified? I'm just saying, by the same token, I mean, because we're telling Shad to hire a new guy, how are we sure that the new guy is going to be better than the guy, and who is he relying on to vet that person? I'm just asking the question. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll answer the question. Okay. One, Tony actually has experience by doing. He's been a part of the league. He has been in the actual production of what happened. So he's got experience. He knows. He's been a player, and he's been around this team enough that he has the exposure and the experience to have a lot better perspective.
Does he have any front office experience? Does he have any experience running a football team? Or even working his way up the ladder of doing that kind of thing? I'm just asking. I'm not saying, by the way, if they hired Tony, I'm not saying I think that's the end of the world. I'm just trying to be a bit of a devil's advocate here, right? Because
he's got a fair point. He doesn't have that on his resume, but you know what? We've got experience in Coach Pederson. Where's that gotten us?
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Right. But so I think you would agree, though, we're not just going to go hire a coach who's never coached before either, right?
So what I'm trying to say is that I think there needs to be another level between the general manager and Shad that can come in and say, as an objective resource, to say, look, this isn't working, and we need to have effect change, because Shad seems like a very disconnected owner. I mean, he came out at the beginning of the year and said this is the best team this franchise has ever fielded, talent-wise.
Right. All right, Greg. Greg, we got to move on from this point. Do you have another point you wanted to make? Go quick, please.
No, I just love my team and will support them no matter what.
All right, I appreciate it, and thank you. I counted 2. He said he had 4. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure
you rushed him.
We didn't cut him off. No, look, I'm not saying Greg's crazy, right? And he may be right. I'm just, if we're going to extrapolate to where Shad doesn't know who to hire to be the GM, then how does he know who to hire to be the executive vice president?
Yeah. We've seen him do that. He did that with Coughlin. He did that. He did exactly that. He brought in a guy between him and everything else that happened on the team. It didn't work out.
Right, and that doesn't mean the next guy wouldn't. Right. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to have. But what if you had a GM that you thought was doing a better job, you wouldn't need that buffer layer
100%.
either. I would imagine if and I can't speak for Greg, but I'm going to try here because that's what we're all doing now. We're just making it up because we're not smart enough to know. Is that okay, if you got rid of Balky and you hired a new GM, whoever Greg's choice was, there's no guarantee that that's going to work. But if it did go that way, I don't know if you feel the need to have that buffer layer between. Now, maybe you'd say the only way he's going to hire that competent guy is by having someone else in place. I'm just saying, at a certain point, he's got to decide on a guy who's going to decide on very important decisions for this franchise. And do I think the track record has been stellar? No. Look at the record, right?
No.
So,
well, and I think Baselli's the name that we hear brought up a lot when that kind of position gets brought up. And I wouldn't be against them hiring Tony Baselli in that kind of role, right? Like, I've seen how successful it's been in San Francisco with Lynch. I don't deny that there's the possibility of a guy who played and has been around the game the way Tony has, being able to be successful in that kind of role. You're taking on a lot if you're Big Bo, right? And it's I don't know how interested or not interested he is in that kind of role. I wouldn't be against him being a guy that they would look for that kind of job because I don't know what other answers they have.
Would any other team hire Tony Baselli for that position? Would any other, or is it just because he played for this team that you think?
I think it's more qualified.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Huge portion to do with it, and there are plenty of former players that are nowhere near. And again, I'm not saying Tony's not. If they went that route, I'd root that. Like Tony was the greatest thing ever come down the line, and I hope he make every great decision. And let's put him in the Hall of Fame again.
From a Baselli side of it, a lot of guys who get hired to that role don't have the kind of success and longevity that John Lynch has. Like, even the guys who get hired in that role get fired like GMs get fired.
Dan Marino lasted about a day.
Right, get fired like head coaches get fired. And I'm not saying that it's not worth the kind of risk. And I think Tony is the kind of guy who has the personality that says, I care about Jacksonville enough that he's willing to take on that kind of role, even if it means this. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. I think he strikes me as the kind of guy that's willing to take that kind of thing on if they're willing to talk to him about it. But I'd be a fan of it when it happened. That doesn't mean my being a fan of it makes it any more likely to succeed.
That's the point, right? Would it be any more likely just because he was a player and he cares about this franchise that he's any more likely to succeed? Again, like you said, Tony, that's a perfect way to put it. If he got it, let's go, Tony.
Yeah.
Right? Go hire a great GM who hires a great coach, and let's turn this thing around, and let's instill pride from the top to the bottom and all this stuff. And all right, when we come back, Tony will take us around the league quickly. We'll try to get a couple more reactions in as we wrap up this Reaction Monday. Dave Garrard is in with us here. Hit us up at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. You hear me talking about these folks all the time. They got great ratings and expert reviews. You know they're the highest quality and most energy-efficient products. Consumer Reports will tell you that. What's your next step? Well, if you need windows or doors, schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by their showroom on Phillips Highway. They've got a professional design consultant team that'll guide you through your entire project from start to finish. Oh, by the way, they did for me. Got them in my home. Absolutely love them. That's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
For birthdays, anniversaries, or any situation that requires something really special, visit the Kuhn Flowers showroom on Beach Boulevard and select something that you can't find anywhere else. 1010XL's Andrew Gibson here, and that's the direction I head, Kuhn Flowers.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and we'll be honoring those who have served our nation all day and night at String Sports Brewery in Springfield with a free barbecue sandwich, side, and a beer. That's for all veterans and active duty military members anytime on Veterans Day. Plus, our show will be there live from 4 to 6, thanks to our friends at Firewatch, which was created to address veteran suicide prevention, and the Cohen Clinic at Centerstone that offers outpatient mental health for active duty, post 9/11 veterans and military families. So come to Strings on Veterans Day.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Hacker here, and last Saturday was awesome. Thanks to everyone who came out to my Countdown to 100 Awaken 180 watch party. The wings were flying, beers were being thrown down, and this guy didn't gain a pound back. I had reached my goal of 100 pounds and took a couple of weeks off. What did I find during my weigh-in last week? I actually lost more weight. Officially down 110 pounds now. Had a birthday trip, watch party, celebrations, you name it, and I'm down 110 pounds. I weigh now 207. Yeah, 207 when I was close to 320 just 8 months ago. With Awaken 180, I've got the ultimate life back. Losing weight while living it up. It's like cheating the system, but it's all legit. If you're ready to get your health back, join the Awaken 180 movement. Call 844-346-1800 or hit up awaken180weightloss.com. This isn't a diet, it's leveling up your life. Hacker out, because I'm keeping it real and light.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free fries from McDonald's, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Truck drivers. Without them, our economy would stop. They're constantly racing against time, struggling against exhaustion, and being put under enormous pressure from their bosses, the big trucking companies. This can be a major reason for an accident. Discovering who's at fault can be difficult. We can help. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Call Farah and Farah. Jacksonville.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Who were the last astronauts who walked on the moon over 50 years ago? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance knows that you want to save money on your homeowner's insurance. So why not try some old-fashioned common sense? Ask your Southern Oak agent about our roof replacement schedule. It will save you money.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmidt were the final 2 astronauts who have walked on the moon.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jeff Prosser this morning on The Drill with reaction to Sunday's loss to the Vikings.
Boy, did we get an eye-opener yesterday, huh? Just what a stinker it is down there. Wow. Just how bad it is, didn't we? A paltry 143 total yards of offense yesterday. Just terrible. And I don't even know how to approach this game. And I'm at a loss. I can sit here and spew the obvious to you. Look, at the end of the day, the vibe down there is all-time bad. This isn't ending well. It's not ending well for Doug Pederson, and it shouldn't end well for Trent Baalke either.
Prosser this morning on The Drill. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
I don't know if I'm cooling down today. I just feel like it's going to take a couple of days.
Stay heated.
I think I'm going to. It doesn't take much for me to stay heated. But I don't know. I think now the big question is, do we see Trevor Lawrence play another snap for this football team in 2024? Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know what like how bad. Obviously, the shoulder issue's bad enough to keep him out now. With the bye week coming up, wouldn't you think, the extra week of rest, right? You would think, don't play against Detroit, bye week.
See what happens.
Make the decision if you're shutting it down or if you're not shutting it down. I mean, the season, for all intents and purposes, is over in terms of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not mathematically, but realistically.
Yep.
So we'll see how that all works out. Let's take a quick look around the rest of the NFL.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott will be seeing a specialist today and then making a final decision on whether or not he will be undergoing surgery for the hamstring injury that he has suffered. If he has to undergo that surgery, he will miss the remainder of the season. Cincinnati is hosting a couple of free agents for visits today. Cornerback Xavier Howard and running back Leonard Fournette both visiting with the Bengals. And Tampa Bay offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs will be getting an MRI today to determine the extent of a knee injury that knocked him out of their game. The initial reports about the injury yesterday indicated some kind of injury to his MCL, but nothing official until after the MRI later today.
Leonard Fournette got 12 carries last year. Mm-hmm. Hey, if someone wants to pay me $100,000 a week or whatever he'd be making at veteran minimum.
And they just traded for Khalil Herbert, too. Okay.
Promptly fumbled, although that goes on Burrow. Yeah. The messed up exchange.
Yeah.
You probably hated that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Here's the ball. Just take it. Why is that my fumble, man? Come on. But so if I'm Fournette and they want to,
that's right. We got to take blame
pay
for
me
everything.
For that 12 carries for 40 yards that I produced last year, come on down.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be right in line as well. All right, why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take, Dylan?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by
Double checked. Cybersecurity made simple.
I will give this to the Jacksonville Jaguars. There is a definite failure when you've lost the league-leading amount of games by as few points as you have, right? Mm-hmm. 5 points or less 6 times now, okay, including yesterday. But I will give the players or whoever's responsible for making this team fight to the bitter end. They've been blown out twice this year. And for a team that's 2-8, the fact that they're hanging around despite the fact that they're not getting any results, and it's a case of they're just haven't been good enough to put it together on both sides of the ball this year at the same time, generally, right? Even when they beat the Colts, had to score 37 because he gave up 34, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday, 14 would have been plenty. But the offense let you down drastically. So it's just, they're not a good team. It's pretty evident. I don't think I'm breaking any news with that, but I will give them credit for, the last 3 weeks they played NFC contenders, and they got another one coming up, probably the NFC contender.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a one-score game every single time. Can't get over the hump, but I don't think it's that the players have checked out. I don't. Because I think, Dave, you would see after a certain point in time just the give up, the exasperation, whatever. It's like when the Jags fumbled the ball yesterday and the defense all day has been like, what do we have to do to get you going, to give you a better field position? And now you're going to put us backed up at our own 24, 25-yard line, and they held Minnesota to a field goal.
Yeah.
They stood up.
Which gives you a lot of appreciation for what this team has been doing, like you said, as far as their fight. But it also is what's making you so frustrated because you're like, we're right there. If we can just make one play, 2 plays, something to get us over the hump in some of these games, our season would look so different. But it hasn't. We don't have anybody that that is that game changer at the end of the game that we're like, everybody knows this ball's going to this guy. And he still makes the plays, and he still goes down and scores, and still does whatever it takes for us to get this win. We find ways to lose, we're not finding a way to win.
I can't understand on a team that has struggled offensively so much, and particularly yesterday, how you don't even look at Brian Thomas in the first half.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It may be the little bit of credit I'll give them to their team building is at least they didn't build a locker room that there's anyone in it that's ready to implode already.
Yeah.
Right? Like that might be the little bit of grace I give them in the team building because everything else has been a disaster. Right? And everything else they've done. But when they talked about the kind of guys they want in the room, that kind of thing, they at least have a group of guys that they don't have anyone in the room that's even going to blow up now, right? Like at least it's well built in that regard. It may be the only regard in which they're well built right now inside that building, but at least in that regard, they're not turning on each other. They're not sniping at each other. The only one sniping at anybody is the head coach about his quarterback. That's the only sniping that's going on in the building right now. It's not teammates doing it. You had a little bit of it with Cisco, and even that got cleaned up. Right? Like in the locker room, apparently whatever conversation they had behind closed doors, they all looked at each other and said, yeah, we can't be that. Right? We know what you saw. We know what it was. We can't have that. And you haven't seen that. Right? Like since that game, that hasn't been the problem. A bunch of guys quitting on plays necessarily. So they at least have football character. I would say I'll give them credit for that. Not a whole lot else.
Yeah.
In the middle of what they're going through right now. And I don't expect it to go get any better for the rest of this year. I don't know what it'll look like in 25, but 2024 is what it is.
Let's get Leo and Mandarin in under the wire. Leo, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, please.
Hey, good morning. I appreciate y'all getting me in. I'm going to try to make this as simple and as eloquently as I can, man. It's frustrating. It breaks my heart. It really does. I'm not just saying that. When I hear these callers call in that sound like they're about to cry, you've heard them, that sound like they're about to tear up in their voice, spending all their money down there, man. I told y'all. And I heard 143 yards. There ain't no coincidence that they only gained 143 yards, and this man has 143 losses. So when they usher Trent Baalke, like I said, and Doug Pederson out of here, them 143 going to stay with him. That's almost 12 losses a year on average, dude. That's horrible. And my thing is, and I'm going to say this opinion, this is reflection of nobody on 1010XL, nobody on this station, nobody on this program. I don't think Shah Khan cares about the people of this city. Y'all can say all y'all want. Listen, I know why y'all respect the man. He is in the top 10 of richest owners in this league. He's squeezed in between Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones. So it makes it even more disappointing. I saw him before the draft get involved in some little wrestling bit with his son when his son got slammed in the ground. He come down there acting like Vince McMahon, like his son was really hurt. He even wore the neck brace to the draft. Let me tell you something. He won't step down on that field, though, and say, you know what? I'm sorry that this is embarrassing to the fans here. I'm going to do something about it. He won't admit. He don't care nothing about it. He got what he wanted. He played us. Y'all remember when we got our games blacked out and threatening to send us to London and St. Louis? As soon as this city gave him what he wanted, now it's just like, blank you.
The blackout, Leo, the blackouts ended well before Shad Khan bought this team.
No. We were still getting blacked out after 2012, sir. Go check that. But anyway, all I'm going to say is this, man. It's sad. It's embarrassing for the people here. And I'm going to say this, Mike. I no disrespect to you. You told me this a few weeks back. Like, oh, think about how Detroit feels or Cleveland. We're not Detroit. We're not Cleveland. And you know what I think? I think the people of them cities are miserable because of what the NFL has done for them. So you telling us in Jacksonville we got to wait 60 years for this thing to get right? I won't be here, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you think just because you've suffered for a while that it's going to change, it's not necessarily going to change. Leo, all right, we got your point. You don't think Shad cares about the city. If Shad wasn't the owner of this team, there wouldn't be a team in the city. So you can look at that any way you like. Shad would make billions no matter where this team was located, and probably make more if it was located in London or in a larger city in America. Yet he didn't go that route. So sorry, I'm not. And you're correct that the blackout policy ended, I think, in January of 2014. So, yes, you're correct about that extending on. Again, I think if he just cared, he could cash out and have moved this when the lease was up or
he would have moved if he didn't care at all about the city.
That's what I think. But you know, I mean, that's your prerogative to feel that way. I understand you're upset and all that, but. You know, and I'm not going to change your mind on that. All right, let's welcome in Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Hi, LP. How are you?
Oh, fantastic, Mike. How are you?
Well, I'm glad you're on because you're a lot smarter than we are.
Oh, thank you.
Our show has no chance to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just have someone who played the position in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, why would Dave? Of course, Dave wasn't sitting in the media room yesterday, but I mean, to me, that's like, really, Doug? Because everyone else has figured out what's going on with this. The worst team in the league. And there's no equivocation about that. They'd have the number one pick in the draft as of today. Mm-hmm. That means you're the worst team in the league. I don't care about we played them close, we didn't play them close. You're the worst team in the NFL. So apparently every defensive coordinator in the league is smarter than you, okay? Because they're all figuring it out, but we're just too dumb to have a simple passing concept explained to us. I mean, that to me, that like Doug Pederson feels like he's checked out, or like I've had enough. I don't have to answer to you. Like, okay, fine. Yeah. You know, you're right. You don't. You have to answer to Shad Khan, and apparently he's going to let you continue to be employed, at least for the time being. So who am I to say?
Look, I think this team has hurt Sony Heeple for so long that now there's a little bit of numbness. Like, there's a little bit of, when I left the game yesterday, walking through the fans leaving, nobody was yelling and angry like they have been in the past. They were all just kind of like, yeah, well, at least we have Trevor Lawrence for the future, even if we don't see him again this year.
Good. That would be what I'd hang my hat on for hope as well.
Right. I know you said you should open up the phone lines to all the Mac Jones cult people.
I'm still waiting for somebody to call in and tell me today that Trevor should be benched for Mac Jones.
Right.
I mean, Mac Jones had more turnovers yesterday than Trevor's had in any game this year. You know, so, and the fewest yards than almost any performance in team history. But y'all go on. I mean, and again, I'm not rooting against Mac Jones, who I gave a lot of credit to for getting up in the postgame and taking the blame for everything, even when it wasn't his fault.
Look, it's going to be rough when Mac watches that film because, look, he's not a very good quarterback. Like, I guarantee New England fans yesterday were screaming, this is what we were trying to tell you, that Mac Jones is not the answer. Mm-hmm. So, Patriots had a good day yesterday. Mac Jones did not get the win, and the Patriots destroyed the Bears.
Yeah, and look, I wasn't rooting against Mac Jones, by the way.
No.
You know? And
we all were rooting for him, even if it brought out that select group of people that said, you know, Mac's better than Trevor. But a win would have been fun today. Win 13-12.
Right, win 13-12, 150 yards of offense would be right. I don't know how they did it, but you felt better leaving the stadium. Right?
Yeah. The only thing I feel like today is that the Vikings are not going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I feel like I garnered out of yesterday's game. I didn't learn that much about the Jags.
Not if they played like they did yesterday.
I just don't think Sam Darnold's good enough to carry them to where they want to go.
Is he coming back to reality? Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, but they at least can go, well, we have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings.
I have no idea what J.J. McCarthy's going to be.
No, they don't.
You know, LB, what's coming up today?
Yeah, we'll continue the Jaguars talk. Mia was in the locker room following the game, so we'll get to hear some of the players. And then we'll talk some college football, too. At least there's exciting stuff in that realm.
All right. Have a great show.
Thank you so much.
We'll be listening. There she goes. Lauren Brooks with Helmets and Heels coming your way next. Tony, quickly, Bowles is playing whom in the playoffs?
Taylor County.
Taylor County. Dylan, who's Baldwin losing to? In the
Gadsden County Jaguars.
The Jaguars. That's why, because I'm rooting for the Jags here in everything I do. Now, good luck to Baldwin and Bowles and all the other Jacksonville-based teams headed to the postseason. DG, have a great week.
I will.
And we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll give away some T-shirts next week. But that's gonna be a steep climb.
It'd be nice to give some away, though.
Hey, look, I keep that 1 year you guys' schedule came out. And Dallas, I was like, at Dallas, forget it. And you went out there and had like a career game against them and beat that A. It can happen.
Crazy things.
It can happen. Unlikely, but it can happen. All right, have a great day, everybody. Hopefully you got to get some frustration out today. I know I did. So anyway, for David Garrard, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Checking the tape with Jeff Lageman tomorrow on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You guys wouldn't figure